hello. Hello. Come on in. Come on in and join me. I'm excited about today. I'm excited about what I am going to share today because I am Latina. I am a Latina woman born and raised in the Bronx. So I'm excited to share today the 6 beliefs that keep Latina women broke and stuck. It's time. It's time that we start to believe differently. It's time that we begin to think for ourselves. And I'm passionate about this because, like I said, I am Latina, born and raised in the Bronx. I have been thinking thoughts for years, all the way up to my 40s that do not belong to me, that have kept me broke and stuck. And we're on the same team. So where are my Latina women? Come in, come join me, especially if you know that you have been living short of what you could really be living due to the things that are going on in your mind. So I want to share these beliefs with you because they've held me back. The first belief, number one, is that luxury and money are for white people, are for white women. And I've heard this all through my life. I'm sure if you're a Latina woman, you've heard this often in your home, your grandmother, your mother, you've heard this before. Money and luxury is for white women and for white people. And we've been conditioned from hearing that for so long. We've been conditioned to not desire more or not dream big because with those thoughts and those beliefs, we believe that it's impossible for us and we're not worthy of those things. That luxury and that money, those things are not for us. Now, I want you to think about what are some of those things in your life that you felt were not for you, were for white people, were for white women. And there were many things in my life, whether they were clothing, accessories, things that I wanted, opportunities that were not for me. Those are not for you, Taisha. Those are for white people, for rich people. And so I grew up thinking that rich is only for white people, for white women. And what happens is that you develop this self of unworthiness and you automatically create that thought that that's not for me. And when something is not for you, what do? You don't pay it any mind. You don't give it any attention. You don't desire it. You don't want it. You don't give it a second thought because it's already been established. It is not for you. So I want you to think about that. What has been that for you in your life that is not for you? It's for them. Number 2, more money equals more problems. I grew up with that belief. Like I said, I'm learning now that belief is not mine, but I grew up with it that more money is more problems, and we just need enough. We just need enough to pay the bills, and we just need enough to eat. We just need enough to survive and to live. And what about having more than enough, right? There was a time when I couldn't think that because I felt greedy. Wanting more is greedy. Be satisfied with what you have is what we were taught in the Latin communities, what we were taught in our homes. Be grateful for what you have. Be satisfied. Don't want more. And I learned as you got older, I can be grateful for what I have and still want more. But when I was younger, I felt like that wasn't possible, right? I just felt greedy for wanting more. So I ask you, what about having more than enough where you never have to worry about money again, right? You never have to settle. You can live the life that you truly want versus more money equals more problems. So I just want enough just to eat, just to pay the bills, and just to get by because more money equals more problems. See, when that belief is stuck in your head, and sometimes you won't even know that that's a belief that is in your subconscious mind that you believe, right? But your actions say that when you just want enough, right? When in reality, enough doesn't reward you with the life that you truly want. Like if you're someone who wants to travel and provide your kids with opportunities and never have to worry about money again, right? And really enjoy your life, give to charities, right? And do all these amazing things that we have the potential to do. So more money equals more problems. What it really is more money equals more opportunities. I want you to remember that because We have been conditioned to not want more money. We have been conditioned to not want it because it brings more problems. And we have been conditioned to not want it because it makes us feel a certain way, not good about ourselves. If we want more, we're being greedy, right? We're not being grateful. So if that has been you, if you have had that belief and you have lived a certain way just wanting enough, I want you to think about that. That is not your belief, right? That was not my belief. That was my family's belief. That was my community's belief. My Latina community, that was their belief. And so, because that was where I was born and raised, I adopted those beliefs, and they have kept me broke and stuck on my journey, right? They have kept me in places where I settled, where I really deserved more, but I couldn't see that because of the beliefs. Number 3, if you start a business, you will fail. Don't start a business. You ever heard in the Latina community, ¿y pa qué? Which means for what? So it's like you'll have to work hard. You'll have to put more effort in and more time. ¿Y pa qué? Which again means for what? And what happens is that when you don't know for what, you adopt the belief even faster. You're like, you're right, for what? I'm going to have to work harder, put more time and put more effort. It's going to be overwhelming. For what? See, what happens is that we don't know for what, and we have to know for what. We have to have the vision for starting the business, right? Because if we do not, in our community, we are influenced to think for what. It'll be too much on you, too much of a burden, too overwhelming for you to go out there and create something, for you to go out there and build something. But now when someone asks me for what, I know for what. I know for what. It's for my freedom, right? It's to bring God glory, because we all have a gift and we're all here to do work. Like, I know for what now. And when I didn't know for what, I was able to just say, you're right, for what? There's going to be a lot of work. I might fail, like you say. It's going to be too much. You're right. And then that belief just carries you on for another 5, 10 years. Now you're 35, you're 40, you're not happy where you are. You're working for a job where you're not making enough. You're not doing what you love. You're not able to provide for your family, because you had the belief that if you went out there and started a business, if you went out there and created something and built something, that you would fail. And then what was it all for? Number 4. That's too expensive. It's not worth it. I've heard that for years. Every time something was too expensive, it wasn't worth it. I should not have that thing that's too expensive because it's not worth it. Now, but to who? We have to ask ourselves, to who is it not worth it? See, and I didn't do that years ago. I didn't ask myself, to who was it worth it? I just believed, you know what, it's not worth it. They're right. That's too expensive and it's not worth it. So I want you to think about, that's happened to me in my health journey with food, right? In Latina community, you're paying $7, $8 for a loaf of bread. Are you kidding me? That's not worth it. You're going to pay that much to go move and live in that environment? That's not worth it. Right? You're going to choose these schools maybe for your children. That's not worth it. But it's not worth it to whom? And why is it not worth it? Because if it's expensive, right? So it's almost like somebody telling you that bread is too expensive, it's not worth it, when in fact your health is worth it. The environment that you choose to live in and raise your kids in is worth it. But because there's a price put on it, and remember, from belief number 1, that's for them and not for us, it's not worth it. And I have to say that we have to level up. We have to level up to get what we want and believe that it's worth it. Because there's some things that you want in your life, but somebody else is telling you they're not worth it, and then you have this belief that it's not worth it. It's not worth it, but to whom? If you know that it is worth it to you to invest more in your health, in your environment, right? In your children's schooling or in your business, then that belief of things being too expensive, you have to do something about that belief. But we're conditioned for that, right? Like when I've hired a coach before, I've heard that's too expensive. It's not worth it. But it is worth it to me, right? But the people who have ingrained these beliefs in you, it was not worth it for them. And they lost out on a lot of opportunities because they tied money into things that they felt wasn't worth it only because of what it cost. Instead of saying, how can I go get that thing that I believe is worth it for me, that I believe will make a change in my life, that will make a difference. Number 5, I grew up hearing all the time, don't trust people. Watch your back. Don't share that. People will judge you. People will talk about you, and you become skeptical. You become skeptical, and I found that years to come, I've been hearing these things from young, but years to come, when you start to go out in the world, right, and you want to be in a relationship or you want to start a business, those thoughts and those beliefs are still ingrained in you. And you're taught from the very jump, like, don't trust this person that's trying to help me. Don't trust this person that's too nice to me. They must want something from me, or they must need something, or they're using me. And you become skeptical. And I say that because I've been that way. But because I was believing things that were taught to me, I was conditioned to believe that way. And what happens is that when you carry on those beliefs, you don't receive the support that you need because you just have a wall. You have a wall. You've been told not to trust people, to be skeptical, to watch out. Everybody's always looking out for themselves, and you don't allow yourself to give yourself the opportunity to find that out for yourself. And we become skeptical. We become skeptical in business, That person only wants to help me because of this. And we start to push away opportunities because of our beliefs that we have been taught in our homes and in our communities. And I say this because we have been robbed of so much opportunity because we continue to believe these thoughts. Number six is, if we love our kids, we need to be helicopter moms. We need to do everything for them, right? So we don't create any dependency for them. We don't plant the seeds and show them how to do things for themselves. We're constantly doing for them because we feel that expresses our love for them. And what happens is you have grown men, grown women, 30, 40, that you're still doing their laundry. You're probably still providing for financially because you have not set boundaries. And you believe, as a Latina woman, that if we love our children, we over deliver, we give, and we never allocate responsibilities. We never we never teach them. We never plant the seeds. We always think they're too young. They don't understand. They don't know now. They know more than we think they know, okay? Come on, we have 3-year-olds like straight going on YouTube, like finding that, skipping the ads, the commercials, right? Like, they know more than we think that they know. And we remain these helicopter moms. We constantly want to be there spoon feeding them, because that's what Latina mothers do. That's what Latina women do. And what happens is that when we do that, we keep providing, enabling, and then we remain stuck and broke. And I have to say that those 6 beliefs are not only, beliefs that what we conditioned to believe. Like, here you believe that we saw these things being lived out year after year after year. If you can think of any of these beliefs, you can see how your mother lived, your grandmother lived, your aunt lived, your neighbor lived, right? They believed these things. And it's why they didn't go out and do great things for themselves. And I believe these things too. Listen, I believe these things and I'm not there anymore. I'm not there anymore because I've done a lot of mindset work. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that because it took a lot of work. And not only that, a lot of effort and time, which in my community, it would have been like, ¿pa qué? For what? But I knew for what. I didn't want to be that person that was afraid to go for more, to desire more. I didn't want to be that woman who was afraid and feeling unworthy. Like that's not for me, that's for them. Because then we create this separation in our mind that we're only entitled to this and they're entitled to that. And we can't cross that line. We can't even want that. We can't even think about that. We better not even think about going for that because it's not for us. When in fact, everything you want, you can have. Luxury, that's for us if we want it. More money, that's for us if we want it. Less worry and concern, that's for us if we want it. We need to stop settling. Stop settling for the way we've been taught to live and stop believing that that is life, that that is all there is for us. And the work that it takes or the mindset work to get rid of these trash thoughts and beliefs and to shift your mindset and believe that you're worthy and believe that you're enough. You are enough, right? To go out there and create something and you're not going to always fail. Like that's not going to be the end all be all for you. Just failure and that's it. That's not true. And what happens is that many Latina women believe this and they don't go out there and they don't start the things that they really want to in their hearts because they believe and have been conditioned to believe that they will fail. And if they fail, that is the end of that. And then for what? They risked things for nothing. But if we have the vision, if we change our thoughts and beliefs, we will know that it is for something, that we stand for something. And we need to do that. We really need to do that. And I'm sharing this with you today because I look at the difference from where I was to where I am today. And not only is my business flourishing, but I get to do what I love to do. And that is everything for me, right? And everybody should be able to get to do what they love to do. That should not be on race. That should not be like you don't get to do what you want to do because you're a Latina and you have 4 children. And you're from the Bronx. It just doesn't happen. You're going to have to work too hard and it's just going to be a waste of time. I want you to stop believing that. Because if you continue to believe that, you will continue to live that life and then ask yourself, why can't I get ahead? Why can't I break through? Why can't I make more money? Why can't I give my family the more that I want to give them? Why am I always on defense and skeptical of those people around me that maybe want to help me grow? Because we've been conditioned to think that way, to feel that way. And when you think that way, you feel that way. And that's the way your life is. Now, I'm helping women do what I did. Why? Because we are a team. We are in this together. Right? Us Latina women, we are in this together. We are trying to overcome this stuff that has kept us stuck and broke. And it's hard, right? Sometimes you ever feel like I'm almost there, but I just can't break through, like something is just there. It's holding me there. I feel stuck. I just can't. And there are beliefs that you have to change. Because if not, you will always feel stuck. And once you change those beliefs, you start to change your actions. You start to change the things that you do. And when you change the things that you do, your life changes. But your behavior doesn't change if your beliefs don't change. Now, if you want to get out of this cycle, if you feel like that is you, I want you to DM me. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about how I can help you without you being skeptical, right? Without you putting up a wall, without you being ashamed of where you are. Because we were taught in the Latina community too, you should be embarrassed of yourself. You ever heard that one? You should be embarrassed of yourself. Tú no te abochonas. Come on now. I know if you're Latina, you've heard that before. You know what I'm talking about. So we've heard that over and over. So there are many things that we're embarrassed of because we've been taught that we should be embarrassed of. We should not share certain things because they're embarrassing. And we hold a lot of shame. We're ashamed. And holding on to that is not going to let you break through to the next place that you deserve to be in life, that you're worthy of being in life, right? So if that is you and you're struggling with that, if you feel stuck in a cycle and you still have these beliefs like, I don't know if it can happen for me. It doesn't happen for people like me, for women like me. I want you to reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's see what is possible for you based off of what you feel in your heart and what your desires are and what you want. Because this time that you get what you want and not what other people tell you is worth it. Not what other people tell you you should have. Right? It's time for you to do what you want to do, not what other people tell you should do. So it's time for us to let go of these beliefs as Latina women. It's time for us to go out there and start creating the life that we want to live because we deserve that. We've been held back for way too long. We've been holding on to other people's beliefs, right? Other people's thoughts. And it's time that we break through that and we start to do the things that we want to do because we're worth it. We are worth it and we deserve more. And there's no such thing as that is for white people. That is for white women. There's no reason why we can't have what we want. Who gets to say that? Who gets to make those decisions for us? Who gets to put to the side what's for us and then put to the side what's not? Who gets to make that separation for us? No one. We all have the power within to get what we want. So I love you. I truly love you. I want to see you winning, shining. I want to see you growing, up leveling. I want to see you breaking through, breaking free. I want to see you leaving in the past all those thoughts that have kept you stuck and broke. And I want to see you growing and developing into a woman that has new beliefs, taking new steps and actions in her life and living a new life because you deserve it. I love you. I love you. I hope to hear from you. Have an amazing, amazing Monday. Let's go. Let's start with power. Let's believe that we're here for a reason. We're here for a reason and we're going to find out what that is and we're going to go after it because we deserve it. I love you.